Hello and welcome back. This video is an overview of Lesson 6, which is Benign Paroxysmal Positional Vertigo, BPPV, and we also discuss some of the differentials associated with positional vertigo. This is oftentimes one of the favorite lessons for our CCVR participants. And yes, we dedicate an entire lesson plan for BPPV. There's an array of complicated terminology associated with BPPV, and this is beyond what we may be used to hearing in regards to canal or cupulolithiasis. Now we're discussing non-ampullary posterior canal lithiasis, short arm posterior canal lithiasis, ampullary or the anterior arm of horizontal canal lithiasis. Just an expanding use of different types of BPPV. There are currently 9, or when you consider both ears, 18 possible types of BPPV. We see a growing amount of literature regarding assessment that focuses on the physiological applications to diagnose complicated BPPV. And so, yes, we're going to revisit Ewald's Law. And then the importance, again, of targeted treatment. And this is meaning targeted canalith repositioning maneuvers. So we're far beyond just talking about the Epley or just the log roll. There's probably a new maneuver being developed even as you listen to this. And again, a discussion on the differentials are also important because BPPV isn't the only explanation of positional vertigo. And this is oftentimes something we have to remind our patients who have had BPPV that they can't make that assumption that all types of positional vertigo are related to displaced or dislodged otoconia. So yes, again, we revisit Ewald's Law, and we translate this fast phase to slow phase nystagmus. So we define nystagmus by the fast phase, but we have to remind ourselves that the vestibular system drives the slow phase. And so in this lesson, we go back and review the semicircular canal excitatory and inhibitory influences because that drives what we see in our assessment based on where those otoconia are either free-floating or stuck somewhere in one or more of the canals, or maybe even on the utricle side of the canal, particularly the posterior canal. Posterior ampullary arm canal lithiasis remains the most common, but again, we have to be aware of all those atypical patterns that we may see. So posterior canal is the most common, then horizontal, and anterior canal is the least common. And then we add that component of, is this on the ampullary side or near the ampulla? It is on the non-ampullary side. Is this potentially cupulolithiasis, or is this short arm? And another word for that is vestibulolithiasis, where it's on the utricle side versus in the semicircular canal. So with all these possibilities comes a variety of maneuvers, and obviously you can't read these images, but this is just to give you a glimpse of how many maneuvers we will be reviewing, and there's so much more than what you see here. The literature does recommend specific maneuvers for specific types of BPPV, but this can come down to a preference. For instance, the literature recommends the Guffani for geotropic or posterior arm horizontal canal lithiasis, but you may like to do the 360 or the 270 or the modified Zuma. And now, most recently, has been released a maneuver that states it can address all canals. So this is certainly an evolving field. And then we close out this lecture talking about the differentials. Is this light or heavy cupula versus a presentation that suggests horizontal canal cupulolithiasis? This does remain controversial, but it is a topic of discussion in this lesson. We'll also review central positional nystagmus, which indicates brainstem and cerebellar disorders, but it can also be present in vestibular migraines. And so stay tuned, and in the next video, lesson 7, we will cover the vestibular bedside examination. Thanks so much.